All right, everybody. It's yet another Bunderdome, yet another Mark Bunderdome, and not a Tim Bunderdome. I know. I know. You all miss Tim. Tim is so busy. In fact, he just finished drawing Common America X Black Hops today, and he posted about it on Twitter. So he finally finished that one. I say finally. I think he knocked out that entire 64-page comic in 1 month, 1.5 months. And that's going to be up and ready to go in either May or June. So for Common America fans, the next chapter in the Common America saga, and Black Ops fans, all 5 of you, the next Black Ops chapter in the Black Ops saga is going to be Common America X Black Ops, or Black Ops X Common America, whatever. And that's going to be coming out in early summer. For those of you who missed out on the Common America 3 Kickstarter, we are going to go on a last call pre-order in April. In fact, it's going to be next week. Tim told me Wednesday of next week. So I think that's actually March 31st. I have to look at a calendar here. But it's going to be Wednesday of next week, which is in fact March 31st. And it's going to be a limited 2-week last call campaign for Common America 3. And it'll be the same rules as the Kickstarter for Common America 3. We'll be shipping to the US, the UK, Canada, except this time we're going to open it up to Japan, just because why not? they may enjoy it too, you know. So that's going to be a 2-weeker. It's going to be a last call for our overstock. So we may have some limited quantity items, including 1 or 2 more of the Common America statues. So if you're really interested in those, keep an eye out. We'll announce the time. We'll let you know exactly when it goes live on Wednesday of next week, and poach those as fast as you can. But that's Common America. But I'm not here to talk about Common America. I'm here to talk about some other guy's campaign, the guy we steal all of our ideas from. And that man is Doug TenNapel. And no one is here in the chat to watch me gab about Doug TenNapel, but that is okay because it is a Thursday night at 8:30. And I'm just here to do an unboxing of Earthworm Jim to Fight the Fish, which Doug TenNapel just crowdfunded. He did it back in a couple months ago, but the fulfillment was March of 2021. And here it is, March 2021, and I got my copy. Isn't that amazing? That someone does a crowdfund and fulfills right on time. Doug T always fulfills right on time. So I wasn't going to do an unboxing, but then when I unboxed this thing, there was a note inside asking me to do an unboxing. So I was like, okay. So I closed the box back up, and here we are doing an unboxing. Oh, I see Herdovohe Grahovac is in the chat. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. You're the only one who showed up to school today. You'll get a gold star. But okay, so we're just going to do a quick unboxing of Earthworm Jim to Fight the Fish. If you want to follow Doug TenNapel, go ahead and check out his channel. The link is in the description of this video. He's got like 2 channels. He's got one really popular one that keeps getting copyright struck, or just like content struck by the people who hate him. And then he has another channel. We'll let you figure out which one that is. But follow Doug. He's a great guy. He has great content, and he makes great comics based on Earthworm Jim. And Earthworm Jim's a character who I didn't have the Sega. I had a Sega Genesis as a kid. I didn't have the Sega Genesis Earthworm Jim game, though. A friend of ours who lived on our cul-de-sac named Andrew, he had Earthworm Jim. And so we'd go over to his place. We'd just walk across the cul-de-sac, and go over to his basement, and we would play Earthworm Jim. And I remember we couldn't get past the Evil the Cat level. It was really, really hard. Heck, I think that's what that level was. But we had a lot of fun playing it. And I really liked the Earthworm Jim cartoon that was on Kids WB in the 90s. It got canceled after 2 seasons, unfortunately, but it was a really fun cartoon. It was really funny. I know that Doug TenNapel says that he doesn't consider the cartoon canon because he didn't have anything to do in the production of it, so it didn't fit his mythology or his vision of Earthworm Jim. It was basically made by other people. But he understands that people like the Earthworm Jim cartoon and remember it fondly. So he has said that he considers Jim Cummings to be the quintessential voice of Psychro, and Jim Cummings voiced Psychro in the cartoon. So while he doesn't consider most of the cartoon canon, he does consider Jim Cummings' performance as Psychro to be canon, which is funny. Oh, I see Elizabeth and insert name here are also in the chat. So I appreciate that. Insert name here, you ask how to get the current Common America books in digital format. We've been trying to put them up on Comixology. The problem with Comixology is that they have like this really weird waiting list that takes a long time if you're an indie publisher. If you're Marvel or DC or IDW, you know, they'll put your comics up the same week as publication. If you're an indie person, oh, you gotta wait. And we've submitted all of our books, and we submitted them through Antarctic Press, who's been publishing since the 90s. And it just takes forever. So we're trying to get them up in Comixology, but they have to go through their extremely long waiting list process. So sorry, that's unfortunately nothing we can really do anything about at the moment. Oh, El Kemlo C, thank you for showing up. And yeah, we were robbed of a brilliant show. Yeah, no, 2 seasons wasn't enough. And I like that the 2 seasons were really different from each other. So the first season of the Earthworm Jim cartoon, it had almost like a variety show aspect to it. So it would start with this cold open, which was just a skit of Earthworm Jim and Peter Puppy escaping from a death trap. And then it would have the main story, which would last like, 19, 20 minutes. And then it would end with a short cartoon, which was about what one of the villains who wasn't featured in the main story, what they were doing at the same time. It was like, meanwhile, what Evil the Cat was doing while this whole Psychro story was going on. It was really funny. And it'd be like what those villains were doing on their day off. That was season 1. I really liked that. Season 2 dropped the cold open and the ending skit. It dropped those book ending segments and instead had like a complete 22-minute story. So the story was more focused and more developed in season 2, and which some people like more, and I liked it. I thought season 2 did a lot, especially with the mythology, and there's actually a continuity. Psychro has a falling out in season 2 with Queen Slug for a butt, and that storyline like progresses over several episodes. That's actually somewhat ambitious. Unfortunately, it got canceled after 2 seasons. I've heard the explanation for what killed Kids WB was Pokemon, was that the producers realized that they could pay a fraction of the cost to import and cheaply dub anime than to produce their own cartoons in-house, and that's what killed the entire Kids WB animation block. Batman, Superman, Animaniacs, Hysteria, all those shows that were produced by Kids WB, by Warner Brothers. They realized, oh shit, we can just save a whole ton of money by just outsourcing everything, just importing the stuff from Japan and dubbing it sometimes in Canada, and it would cost us pennies. And that just absolutely destroyed the American Saturday morning cartoon institution. But that's another conversation. I'm sorry. Bianca Fights the Zombies says, aloha, dudes. Thank you for showing up. I haven't unboxed this thing yet, and it's been 8.5 minutes, so I'm going to do that. So I got this in the mail. My address is on the other side of the box, so I'm not going to flip this over. But look at that full color box. I'm surprised no one at the post office stole it, because this thing is beautiful. I mean, yeah, it's a little dinged up here, but it's the shipping box. It's going to come in dinged up. You're not supposed to get these in pristine condition. So I'm not marking anything off because the box it was shipped in has some scrapes on it. That's the fact that the box is so cool in and of itself is pretty amazing. Now, anyway, let's open this thing up. Ooh, look at that. Shipping. And I got my hardcover Earthworm Jim 2 Fight the Fish inside. Oh, look at that. So glossy, so pretty. And one of the things about the Doug T boxes that I love is that, yeah, you open up, this pizza box flap, but then you have a secondary flap here that you open it, and it's what keeps everything in place inside the box. So some jackass at USPS can just throw this thing through a basketball hoop, and it doesn't jostle the contents inside. Everything arrives in perfect condition. And so let me pull out the contents real quick of this amazingly awesome box. I keep all these boxes, by the way, because I feel like they're collector's items in and of themselves. And this is the plastic bag that Fight the Fish came in. Like I said, I didn't know I had to do an unboxing video until I unboxed the damn thing. So yeah, it did. Fight the Fish did come in a plastic bag, so it was double protected. Now, before we get to the piece de resistance, let's look at all the extras. Comes with a little note that specifically asks you to do a unboxing video. What does weird caricature Doug T say? He says, "Thank you. Show off your order by making a great unboxing video and post it with Earthworm Jim 2 unboxing in the title." Did I do that? I don't know. And then it has a list of everything you paid for. I paid for the signed tier. And let me look at my invoice real quick so I can tell you exactly what I paid for this hardcover book and all these extras. I paid for the signed Earthworm Jim Fight the Fish tier. I paid $35 plus $15 shipping, which is expensive for shipping, but most shipping is like $10, and so 15 is actually not that much. And it's because I had all this stuff, all this extra stuff. So that's why shipping cost a little bit more. So altogether it was $50. And $50 for a book like this, hardcover, with that, look at that gleam, that gold foil leaf right there. Oh, man. I mean, I know that Doug's Christian and very devout, so I'm not going to compare this thing to a Bible, but it's nicer than some of the Bibles I've seen. All right, but let's look at the extras that I came with. I haven't actually looked into these yet, so that's why they're still sealed in the box, in the packet. All right, so I got, I got an Earthworm Jim sticker that I'll probably never put in anything. I don't know what to do with stickers. Another Earthworm Jim logo sticker. And at first I thought this was that guy from Cat Scratch, the one with a Scottish accent. So Doug TenNapel had this cartoon on Nickelodeon called Cat Scratch. And one of the cats who was like half white and half orange was voiced by Rob Paulson, and he had this thick Scottish accent. I thought that's who that was at first, but it actually looks more like an otter. So I'm not sure who or what that character is. But I haven't read the book yet, so maybe he's in there. Also a patch. Ooh, a couple. Whoa, geez. It's just like free shit is falling out all over the place, man. It's like an advent calendar. There's a Princess What's-Her-Name sticker. That's cool. An Evil the Cat patch. And a Psychro Ungroovy patch to go with the patch that I got on the Earthworm Jim 1 campaign that had Jim saying groovy. That's really cool. So I got these little extras there. All right. And some of the neater stuff is you got this Earthworm Jim cast lithograph. It's got the princess, it's got Snot, it's got Farmer Jim and Peter Puppy and Jim there. Earthworm Jim all lined up. It's a really cool piece of art. Oh, and it's on like a nice textured print. I know it doesn't come through obviously in the visuals, but if you feel it, it's almost like it's on like parchment, or I don't know what you'd call that, but canvas, I guess. Yeah, canvas quality paper. It's really nice. All right. I'll get to this one first. It also came with a Evil the Cat. They called him Evil mini comic. Well, it's a full-size comic, but the comic ending is short. And ooh, that back cover is really nice too. There's a foreword in here that talks about the origins of this comic. It was something that was conceived in 1991 by Doug TenNapel and one of his friends. And I can't wait to, I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to read it along with the rest of the book. But yeah, that's really cool. And also the credits page, you know, credit where credit's due. There we go. Darren Bader, several other people. Now here's another one. It also comes with a Bigfoot Bill 3 preview. Earthworm Jim 2, or Earthworm Jim 1 rather, came with a Bigfoot Bill 2 preview. I haven't gotten the Bigfoot Bill comics, the Bigfoot Bill campaign editions, which are every bit as nice as the Earthworm Jim ones. They all come in hardcover and they all have all that nice stuff. I just, you know, I got to be careful with what I buy. I'm already addicted to these expensive NECA Ultimate Horror toys and Ultimate Ninja Turtles toys. Now buy all these Blu-ray horror movies and Marvel Epic Collection graphic novels. I just can't buy everything. So Tim has bought Bigfoot Bill, and he's told me that it is really good, and I have no doubt that it is. I'm just limiting myself to Earthworm Jim. So I can't buy everything from Doug, but I do buy Earthworm Jim from him. But it does come with a preview of Bigfoot Bill 3, which, so if you're into Bigfoot Bill, if you're excited about it, that should be really cool. I mean, it's got a unicorn in it. Now, for a second, I thought that was Jim Lawson artwork. Nah. So that's all the extras that this came with. And then, of course, you've got Earthworm Jim graphic novel. Oh, man. So, like, the cover has this nice laminate. Oh, it's, like, really smooth and reflective. And then, of course, it's got that nice textured outside binding. Like, this is such a production. This is such a piece of, this is what you would call a library edition. You know, like those Mike Mignola Hellboy library edition collections. Like, that's what this is. And again, look at that gold. Oh, man. I can't wait to read this. Though I feel like I have to be extra careful. I'm afraid of getting fingerprints on the inside. And I know that from the title that this has to feature the killer goldfish. What was his name? He was voiced by Jim Cummings as well in the cartoon. The killer goldfish. But yeah, I can see that he's in here. And he's got his cat minions. He was one of the bosses in Earthworm Jim 1. And he's from the planet... it was like the planet Aqua Arriba. Man, it's been so long since I watched the cartoon. Oh, speaking of Mike Mignola and its library editions, I don't think this is actually by Mignola, but it's a really good pastiche of his style. I love it. Planeta de Agua, Bob the Killer Goldfish, and he's from Planeta de Agua, Arriba, from the cartoon. Oh, man. And I'll take the plastic away. Let me just catch up with the chat real quick. I see some more people have shown up. Elizabeth says, pretty sure USPS tossed yours under a truck, gravel road, and drove over it. Well, man, my Waxworks CD of the TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze soundtrack has been in transit since March 5th. Every day it leaves the Memphis, Tennessee distribution center and never shows up. And it's been doing that all month. I'm pretty sure I'm never going to get it. So I'm right there with you, man. USPS has been dropping the ball. Oh, my Pickles is here. What's up? Let's see. Jim Tuner is here. Earthman John 2. That would be a good spinoff. Let's see. Pixel Trader is here. Fanciest yearbook yet. It does look like a yearbook. And yeah, her Vohe corrected me on Bob the Killer Goldfish. That is Mignola? Or Mingola. It is Mingola. Is it really? Let me look at that signature on the back. It doesn't have a signature. Ooh, wait, it does. Oh, man. It's got that little M there. Oh, shit. I was looking at this right here and I thought that was a signature. No. Oh, man. He got Mike Mignola to do that back in 2019. But wow. That's some cool shit. Well, man, that just makes that even more awesome. Thank you for telling me to look for that Oregon 87. I'm glad you did. I thought that was a pastiche piece because I just didn't think Mignola would. Seeing what the kinds of things Mignola says on Twitter, I just didn't expect him to work with Doug. So it's cool. You know, Mignola's a good sport. I like him even more now. Oh, you didn't like Bob sounding like an ultra gay Southern preacher? I don't know what accent Jim Cummings used for Bob in Earthworm Jim in the cartoon. I'm not really sure what to classify that accent as. It was just something completely Jim Cummings. He's a guy who just makes up his own voices. That's why he's one of the greatest VAs ever. Yep, VM Ree. Yeah, it was Mignola. And Doug has the original drawing. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm glad that I have this really nice quality version on the back of this. And yeah, that gold. I can't wait to read it. I read Earthworm Jim 1, and I loved it. Yeah, it deviated from the canon and some of the characterizations of the cartoon that I was familiar with in the 90s, and I really liked that cartoon. But it didn't bother me that it deviated from the cartoon. Really, the mythology from like where the super suit came from was different. Obviously, like how Jim met Peter Puppy and the other characters was different. Some of their personalities were different. The biggest change between the cartoons characterizations and Doug T's characterizations in these graphic novels is actually Jim. Jim in the cartoon, where he was voiced by Dan Castellaneta, Homer Simpson, he was very boisterous and vain. He was almost like the Tick, in that way. He was very loud and very confident and prone to these big, elaborate speeches. Jim in Doug T's vision, his original vision for the character, is more innocent and manic and nice. He's not someone who brags the way that the cartoon version did, but I can still read his Earthworm Jim with Dan Castellaneta's voice in my head, so it still tessellates for me. It still works for me. It's a different version of Jim, but it also doesn't feel out of line for what my impression of Jim was. So that didn't throw me off. It never bothered me that his Jim was a bit different from the one I grew up with. But real quick, before I end this is just going to be a quick unboxing, and I've already been going for 21 minutes. I'm going to steal a line from a much more famous YouTube guy than me. I'm nobody. And I'm going to say it's comparison time, to quote Pixel Dan. So there's the Earthworm Jim 2 box, and here's the Earthworm Jim 1 box. And I remember getting this Earthworm Jim 1 box and thinking like, oh shit, it doesn't get better than this. Look at that beautiful black and white artwork. And I'm going to turn it around so you can, get a better idea of it. And like, oh man, this thing is gorgeous, with that ink wash of Peter Puppy and Princess What's Her Name and Jim and the other Jim, Farmer Jim. And like, oh man. And then of course the new one came in and it's full color and it's glossy and it just blows this one out of the way. But I keep these boxes because they're gorgeous. I love them. They feel like they're part of the collector's edition. Hell, so the Earthworm Jim 2 box makes the Earthworm Jim 1 box look like the Common America box, which, we're trying our hardest to ape Doug T. We're always playing catch up. We're always 100 steps behind him. But everything he does, it's so great. We want to, in our own little kid way, our little brother sort of way, try to emulate what our big brother is doing, and that's who Doug T is. So that's, we fully upfront admit that the custom boxes that we use for Common America and Black Ops and other iconic comics releases, we totally saw what Doug T was doing, and we really want to do that too. And everybody else, I mean, if you want to look at a good campaign and you want to try to emulate a successful, high quality, respectful campaign, just watch what Doug T has been doing with Earthworm Jim and Bigfoot Bill. And even if you try your best to be as good as him, you won't go wrong. But this is Earthworm Jim 1's box, and so let's just open that puppy up, that Peter Puppy up, and see what's inside. What is inside Earthworm Jim 1? It's Sailor Rogowski. Yeah, I've been using these as storage. Sorry, I mean I'm keeping the boxes, guys, but I got to do something with them. Sailor Rogowski by Brian Ball and Daquan and the rest of those folks. Great stuff. Read some Sailor Rogowski or Rags or any of those books by Ball and them. They're great. I got some other books in here that I got in storage. Rick and Morty. Oh God, no, don't look at that. Treehouse of Terror. I got that signed. Tim gave this to me as a gift. That was cool by the artist there. Oh, Trump's Titans. How did I end up with that? I don't even know where some of these came from. Oh, Juan Poole. That's by Josh, the amazing animator, and Mord Knight. So I got some Juan Poole in there. And that nice Juan Poole lithograph. Yeah, it's just kind of got some stuff in here. Here we go. All right, so I'm down to the original things that came with it. Now, my Earthworm Jim 1 box did, of course, come with Earthworm Jim 1. Launch the Cow, which also has, oh, that gold. And it's great. And it also came with this, the Making of Earthworm Jim hardcover, which has a silver sheen to it. Really cool. It's the making of the original Earthworm Jim video game and all the art that went therein. And I'll show you at the end how all these books look when they look on your shelf. And then it came with all this, and it has that extra little hinge there. It came with a bunch of free stuff. It came with the goodies checklist that he always comes with. And the Earthworm Jim 1 set from last year came with, oh man, I can't even remember all the cool shit that I got with this. Oh God, it's just everywhere. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh jeez, oh jeez. All right, let me get the box out of the way. Oh heavens, oh goodness. I haven't opened my box of Earthworm Jim trading cards yet. I'm like, I hope it'll devalue them. Oh my God, I got like 3 packs of these things. I wonder, I don't know. Oh, and there's my groovy patch that'll go with the Psychro Ungroovy patch. And then I've got, yeah, and this one's also on that canvas texture. Oh man, there's a whole mess of these lithographs. Ooh. Man, I forgot all the cool shit that I got last year with Earthworm Jim 1. Papercraft Earthworm Jim for the people who are into that. And wow, a really good, God almighty, humongous poster. Oh, wow. That thing is... It's bigger than this. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing. It wouldn't even fit on the camera here. Man, it's like I forgot that I paid for this stuff, and I'm not rich or anything. And it has the Bigfoot Bill 2 preview comic that I told you about. I haven't bought the Bigfoot Bill 2 actual graphic novels. I kind of wish I did, because their production values are every bit as high as the Earthworm Jim stuff. So if he does reprints, maybe I'll go in on Bigfoot Bill and the reprints. I don't know. I have to be careful with some of the money I spend. And clearly, I'm buying all this cool shit and then forgetting I even bought it. Maybe I'm just a terrible, terrible boomer. I don't know. All right, get that out of the way there. Now, so how all of these beautiful hardcovers look. That's Earthworm Jim 1. Oh, no, that's Earthworm Jim 2. I'm getting my numbers wrong. Ooh, there's the back cover of Earthworm Jim 1, by the way. Ooh. So you got your Earthworm Jim 1, your Earthworm Jim 2, and your Making of Earthworm Jim. And they look gorgeous on the shelf, believe me. And I heard somewhere, I may have been bullshit, that Doug intends the Earthworm Jim saga to be 5 volumes. So I can't wait to see all 5 volumes on my shelf. It's going to take 3 more years, but it's going to look gorgeous on the shelf. When I say that these are library editions, I mean it. These are really, really nice versions that you're going to put on your shelf and you're going to admire. I'm already admiring them. They're beautiful, beautiful. We kind of, when we do Common America and Black Ops, this is the status we hope to achieve someday. We're far, far from ever getting there with our books, Tim and I, but it's the gold standard. And I mean, when I say it's the gold standard, I mean, it's the gold standard. And we are trying to get there. So that's the unboxing video for Launch the Cow. I'm just going to keep this thing to 30 minutes, but that's the gist of it. Let me look at the chat real quick. Cummings is great in that Splatterhouse reboot game. Oh, I didn't know he was. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go on YouTube and look up cutscenes and hear him in that. Cummings is awesome. He's a national treasure. That Mignola was the preview cover for the Bigfoot Build 2 campaign. I remember seeing that. I thought it was a gag cover, like someone doing a pastiche of Mignola. I didn't know it was the real Mignola. That's cool. Separate the Bullet Ninja says separate the art from the artist. I actually do my best to do that. I mean, not just talking about artists, but writers as well. Like, I enjoy a lot of the work by Stephen King, and that guy is obnoxious on social media, but I still enjoy a lot of his novels. There's Denny O'Neil. I'm the late Denny O'Neil. I mean, not going to speak ill of the dead. That guy was a flaming liberal, just absolutely crazy, but he wrote some great comics, preachy comics sometimes, especially his Green Lantern, Green Arrow run, which I think is a little overrated, but his Batman stuff is some of the best Batman comics ever written. Does not have to agree with me on politics. Denny O'Neil was a master of his craft. So yeah, you gotta sometimes separate that stuff. It can be really hard, especially if the person is still alive and still on social media and still pissing you off. But if you can look past that, then yes, it's always a good practice. Why should we believe you? Put them on the shelf. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Then I'll pick up my my webcam and I'll give you all motion sickness, but you can see them on my shelf. Why don't I do that? Why don't I do that? Get him in there. Okay. All right. Well, you're all going to get motion sickness, and if you get upset, you can blame Elizabar because he asked me to show you the shelf that I keep them on. If this thing reaches. Oh no, it doesn't quite reach, but you get the gist of it there, right? You can see him. You can see him. Let's see. There we go. Focus. Is it good? Yeah. Okay. Good. So you can see those Earthworm Jims there next to my essential Ghost Riders. And that shell of a dead turtle that I found when I was hiking in the woods as a teenager, and I've used as a tray for my keys ever since. But there you go. Sorry, no Goblin. I don't know where he's hiding. Where's my cat? Where is Goblin? Goblin, the people want you. Oh, he's laying there with his tummy up. Oh, I wish you could see this. Anyway, I think that's enough. Oh, Hervohe says there's a nice campaign on Kickstarter. New manuscript of Dante's Divine Comedy. Oh, so I've been wanting to. I mean, I own 2 copies of the Divine Comedy. I own this really nice one from the 1940s that my grandmother gave to my mom, and my mom gave to me. So it's like the family's copy of the Divine Comedy. And I guess I'll bear it with me because I'm not going to have any kids. And then I have a copy of the Divine Comedy that I read. It's a nice hardcover copy with gold leaf that I bought from like a Barnes and Noble. But I didn't want to like reread the copy that my mom and my grandmother gave me. I wanted to keep it in nice condition. So I have 2 copies of the Divine Comedy already. But I do want to someday pick up. There's an Italian Mickey Mouse comic that adapted the Divine Comedy with Mickey Mouse characters. I want to read that. Hey, King Forte, thanks for showing up. Oh wow, you could read that from all the way across the room. Good for you. But yes, I do keep alphabetical order. I mean, how else would I be able to find anything? The top shelf's all just Batman anyway. But okay, everybody, thanks for showing up for this unboxing video. I noticed me, Doug Senpai. I followed the instructions on the note you put in the box. But there you go, everybody. For those who sat through this and missed the first 5 minutes, Common America 3 is going to have the last call pre-orders on Indiegogo next Wednesday, which is March 31st. So make sure to be there and it's only going to run for 2 weeks. It's going to be a limited last call just to sell off our overstock of Common America 3. And it'll ship to the US, the UK, Canada, and Japan. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter of Common America 3, Indiegogo, last call, 2 weeks, starting next Wednesday, which is March 31st. Also, check out the iconiccomics.com website. Doug Ernst's Soul Finder 2 Black Tide is currently available there, as well as back issues of Common America and Black Ops and then blah, blah, blah. But Soul Finder 2, Black Tide by Doug Ernst just launched, and it's available only on the iconiccomics.com website. So go there and check it out if you're into that. All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up for this unboxing, and have a great spring break weekend. See ya.